So now we can start the class. Let's say prayers. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. Dudayambi buddham saranam gacchami. Dudayambi dhammam saranam gacchami. Dudayambi sangham saranam gacchami. Tadayambi buddham saranam gacchami. Tadayambi dhammam saranam gacchami. Tadayambi sangham saranam gacchami. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Adinadana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Kamesu mecchachara veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Surameraya majjapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Amabandi sadhu sadhu sadhu. Well, today we have all of you have Abhidhamma books. No? So the Abhidhamma books I have written, they are just like I am explaining to you. So 4 explanations are already included in the book. No? You just need to read them. So in your book now, we are on page 105. No? 105. So you can look on page 105. So it is in the middle of the page. No, we are doing the cross-examination of this chart number 4. So we are using this bottom one, chart 4.3. And we have to say one more thing from this chart. Yesterday we have said that in each of these 5 sense doors, why? In each of these 5 sense doors, if the sense object appear in each door, 46 chaittas can arise in each door. In the mind door, 67 chaittas will arise. Now we have the next line here, Dvara Vimutti. So you can add T-I, Vimutti. The full name is Vimutti. And actually in your book, on page 105, we explain about it at the bottom of that page. Page 105 at the bottom, you just look below. So I gave you number 6 there. The 19 Bodhisanti Chaitas. You can see, I hope. 19 Pati Chaittas and 19 Bhavinga Chaittas and 19 Chukti Chaittas are called Dwara Vimutti. So Dwara Vimutti means door free. Door free means they do not arise in any door. They do not arise in any door. So we give to the reason because on page 106 they do not arise in any of the sense doors such as the eye door, etc. And Bhavinga Chitta themselves serve as the mind door. And they exist without receiving any new external object pertaining to the present life. So I told you yesterday that the Bhavinga, the life continuum, and Bhavinga Chitta, life continuum. This is the rebirth consciousness, and then the death consciousness. So that they will be arising in us. So since we were conceived, the rebirth consciousness arises. Then after that, life continuum will be arising one after another throughout our life. So this Bhavinga Chitta is known as our host consciousness. It's just like the host, the host. And then the last one is Chuti Chitta, Chuti consciousness. We say these Chitta, they do not arise in any of those six sense doors. They do not arise. They are arising by themselves. So like Bhavinga Chitta, it keeps arising now. So it arises in the heart, in the blood of the heart, depending on the heart base. On the heart base, they are arising there. So we say they are door free, and I explained to you yesterday, they take the sense object, we call it near-death sign of the past, the immediate past life. They don't take any object of the present life. So they take that the past, the object, so we do not know the object they take. So now we can go to so we have on the side, we have for cross-examination again. So in number 1 we say there are 36 Chittas that arise in one door. So we give the statistics here. These are the Chittas, and these are the number of doors they arise. Like Pancha Dwara Vachana, it arises in all the 5 doors. Like Chakku Vinyana, eye consciousness, it arises only in the eye door. So we put in 111 here. So the 111 here is this 5 pairs of consciousness we call Dvipancha Vinyana. The 2 eye consciousness, the 2 ear consciousness, the 2 nose consciousness, 2 tongue consciousness, 2 body consciousness. They arise in each door, 10 here. And then here we have Apana Javana. They arise only in the mind door, Apana Javana. So they don't arise in these 5 doors. So if you combine 10, 26, you get 36 Chitta that arise in one door. Now the next line is there are 3 Chittas that arise in 5 doors. So this is 5 here. So what are the Chittas? Pancha Dwara Vachana and the Sampatichana. Sampatichana, there are 2 Sampatichana, so you get 1 plus 2, you get 3. So these 3 Chittas, they are known as the mind door, we call it, the mind elements, Manodhatu. So on page, you have to look back on page 35, it is the number 2. Page 105. In the middle, we give you for cross-examination. For number 1, I already explained to you. So if you add up all the Chitta that arise in these 5 doors, they amount to 55 Kama Vachara Chittas. Now the second line, number 2. The chaitars that can arise at 5 doors are Pancha Dwara Vachana and 2 Sampadechana chaitars. These 3 chaitars are collectively called Manodhatu, mind elements. They arise in all the 5 doors. Now the next line. There are 31 chaitars that always arise in the 6th door. So now in this chart we give you 6 always, 6 always, 6 always. So they are the Somanasa Santirana. Somanasa Santirana is just one consciousness. And then we had Vattapana. Vattapana is performed by Manodwara Vachana, remember? So it is only one chaitar. And then 29 Kama Javana chaitars. So altogether 31 chaitars that always arise in the 6th sense door. And now the next line, there are 10 chaitars that arise in the 6th sense doors. Not always, sometimes we say. Sometimes they do not arise on the 6th sense door, and sometimes they do not. They arise in the 6th sense door. They are these 2 actually. So here we have to put in some, not just like here. Sometime, they don't arise always. So what are they? The 2 Upekha Sandirana Chaita. And then so if you have already taken Sandirana here in the Dalamana, so we say here the Dalamana, that when you look at this chart, the Dalamana is performed by 3 Sandirana Chaitas and the 8 Mahavipaka. As Sandirana is already counted, so here, so we take it, the Dalamana 8. 8 means there's 8 Mahavipaka Chaita. So there are 10 of them. And remember, we say that these 2 Upekha Sandirana Chaita, and then there's the 8 Dalamana, 8 Mahavipaka Chaita, and 9 Mahagata Vipaka Chaita. These 90, they are called Dwara Vimukti. Dwara Vimukti, they are these 3. They are these 19 Chaita actually. So we say when those 19 Chaita, they perform as rebirth consciousness, or as life continuum, or finally as death consciousness. They are door free. They don't arise in any door. They don't arise in any door. So the same thing just like here, remember. The 2 Upekha Sandirana, 8 Mahavipaka, 9 Mahagata Vipaka, the same as this 90. So this 90, when they perform these 3 functions, rebirth, Bhavinga, life continuum, and Chuti, death function, so we say they are door free. So at that time, this 2 Upekha Sandirana Chaita and 8 Dalamana, they do not arise in the door when they function as these 3 functions. They are door free. But they also perform other functions. Like in the case of the Upekha Sandirana, if you look here, the 2 Upekha Sandirana Chaita. So in addition to these 3, it also performs the Sandirana, investigating function, and then in the Sandirana, investigating function, and also the Dalamana. So when it arises, the Dalamana, so it arises in all the 6 sense door. In the 6th sense door, like we say here, the Dalamana, they arise in the 5 door as well as in the mind door. So in all the 6 sense door. So on page 105, if you read the number 4, the chaitas that sometimes arise at the 6 doors and sometimes do not arise at the 6 doors are the 2 Upekha Sandirana Chaita, 8 Mahavipaka Chaita, altogether 10. So now you understand when they are performing these 3 functions, they are door free. They don't arise in any 6 sense door. So when they perform the Dharamana, they arise in all the six sense door. Now, one more. So there are 9 chitta which are always free from six sense door. They are this 9 Mahagata Vipaka chitta. So 9 Mahagata Vipaka chitta. So you can see from here, the 9 Mahagata Vipaka chitta here. It performs only these 3 functions, and it does not perform other functions. So we say when they are not performing these 3 functions, rebirth, life condition, and death function, they do not arise in any door. So this 9 Mahagata Vipaka chitta, they do not arise in any door. So the 9. You understand now? So now I take away the Jatija chart. So now we finish that, and we can go to page 106. Page 106 is Aramana Sangaha. Aramana or Alambana, they mean the same thing. They mean sense object. Alambana or Aramana. Chitta and Chitta seekers will be compiled briefly here in accordance with 6 sense objects. So now we describe the 6 sense objects here. So we can read together. Number 1 is Rupa Ramana, visible object. So the word in bracket refer to the essential element of this sense object. We give the note at the bottom of that topic. So we say that the names in brackets for the first 6 senses are the essential elements of the object. So Rupa Ramana, the visible object, it is what is materiality that represents this visible object. Then you should say it is Vana. Just say just one word, Vana. And then the next number 2, Saddha Ramana, the sound is, the materiality that represents the sound is Saddha. And then number 3, Gandha Ramana is the smell. Again, the essential element is Gandha. So when you add Gandha, you combine Gandha and Aramana. So you get Gandha Ramana. The same thing is you combine Saddha and Aramana, you get Saddha Ramana. And the same thing, number 4, Rasa Ramana is the taste. The essential element is Rasa. So when we combine Rasa with Aramana, we get Rasa Ramana, we say the taste object. And number 5, Puttaba Ramana is tangible object. The essential elements are Patavi, Vayo, and Tejo. 3 primary elements actually. Patavi has the characteristics of hardness and softness. So if you feel your body like at the forehead, so it is hard here because there is the bone behind it. If you feel in the dimple, it is soft. So that hardness, softness is Patavi. And now the Tejo is hotness and coolness. So if you feel just like in the armpit, you get the warmness or hotness. If you feel in the cheek, it is coolness. So we say that is Tejo. And Vayo is pushing and supporting. If you press a little bit. So actually we know the touch by the push. By the pushing. So when you push in, your flesh, support it. Otherwise, it does not support. If you push, it will go in. So now as you support, it just stop there. So that is the Vayo. They say we can feel only these 3. So we give the essential element, Patavi, Vayo, Tejo. So usually, the people, they understand only these 5 sense objects. So if you look like in the Oxford, the dictionary, the English dictionary, the big dictionary, They will mention only these 5 sense objects. No? So they say they are the 6th sense, that they also use in English, the 6th sense. So when they say the 6th sense is just like the person who could see the objects that nobody can see them. Not just like she can see the ghost or something like that. They say, oh, he has the 6th sense, they say, he has the 6th sense. Now here we have number 6, Dhamma Ramana, the mind object. Now, you read the next paragraph. The mind object is sixfold. Sixfold means 6 kinds. So they are the 5 pasada rupa, sensitive parts of the organs. So remember these 5 sense door. Yesterday, these 5 sense door. So we say their essential element are like the where's the 5 sense door? Here. What is the Chakku Dwara? Eye door is Chakku Pasada. Chakku Pasada, clear materiality in the eye. And Sota Pasada is the ear door, clear materiality in the ear. Gana Pasada, the nose door. So you can just look back on page 104. 104. So in the topic above, you get Dwara Sangaha. So in that 6th sense door, you can see Chakku Dwara is the eye door. So it stands for Chakku Pasada. Soda Dwara, ear door, Soda Pasada. Gana Dwara, nose door, Gana Pasada. Jiva Dwara, tongue door, Gana Jiva Pasada. Kaya Dwara, body door, Kaya Pasada. So these 5 Pasada Rupa. Yesterday I told you, they are clear materiality. They cannot be seen by the eye. They cannot be seen by the eye, but they can be seen by concentrated mind eye, we say. So it is included in the mind object. So 5 pasada rupa. And number 2, we are going back to page 106. So about that Dhamma Ramana. Now the number 2, 16 Sukhuma Rupa is subtle matter. Now, the sense object 1 to 5 stands for 5 pasada rupa. Now, if you add this 5 pasada rupa, 5 pasada rupa, 1 to 5, 1 to 5. What are the materiality that represent the 5 sense objects? You just read in the words in the bracket. Vana, Saddha, Gandha, Rasa, Patavi, Vayo, Tejo. How many material you get? 7, right? So if you add this 7 with 5 pasada rupa, that represent the 5 sense door. We call this 12 materiality as gross materiality. Gross materiality, we don't write here. So it is all larika, in Pali, all larika, rupa, gross materiality. So here we have 16 sukhuma rupa, subtle materiality. So if you add 16 and the 12, you get 28 types of materiality. So that shows all the 28 types of materiality are present in the 6 sense objects. Those who don't get the book yet, the Abhidhamma book, is available now. Abhidhamma book. Now, we understand now all 28 types of materiality are in the 6 sense objects. In the first 5 sense objects, they contain 7 types of materiality. So, these 7 types of materiality, they are visible to us, or they can be heard, or they can be smelled, etc. And then the 5 pasada rupa, like the eye door, the ear door, the nose door, they are easily known. And because of that, these 12, they are called gross materiality. And this 16 Sukhuma Rupa, no, they are mind, they are included among mind object. So they do not appear in the five sense door. No? So it is difficult to know them. So we call them subtle materiality. Now we continued. Number 3 is 89 Chaitas, that is all consciousnesses. Number 4 is 52 Chaitasikas, all mental factors. Number 5 is Nibbana. And number 6 is concepts, no, such as Kasina Nimitta, no, like the learning sign, acquired sign, counter sign, no, we have seen. So, no, they are like the concept Nimitta, they are not real materiality. No, they are just, no, the sense perception in the mind, perception in the mind. So, no, they do not really exist, this concept. So, no, in the mind object, no, these six kinds of, no, the objects are present as the mind door. Now we continue. The mind object cannot arise in the five sense door, but they can arise in the mind door. No? So one thing is, if they arise in the mind door, then, no, we can see them with concentrated mind eye. So that means we can see the Chaita, the Chaitasikas, and even Nibbana. So we say we can see the Nibbana, no, with the part consciousness and fruition consciousness. Nibbana is the most subtle object, because Nibbana has no materiality, no mentality. No mentality, no materiality. No? So it is the finest, no? the subtlest. So even Nibbana can be observed. So in that case, no, the Chaita and Jaitasika, no, we can believe they can be observed. No? So in Vipassana meditation, they are observed. No? In Pa-Auk meditation center, no, the meditators, they can see all the Chaita, Jaitasika. So when you attain the part consciousness, you will see Nibbana. Okay. So now, in these, no, six sense objects, no, we just like to, no, to take statistics. We say they include all 28 types of materiality. And now in the mind object, no, the mind object also includes all Chaita, all Chaitasikas and Nibbana, no, and even concept. So among the six sense objects, you can see all realities are included, plus the concept. Not the concept are also included. So everything is included in the six sense object. No? So no, that the Buddha is very, very wise. No? So otherwise nobody knows that. About the mind object, they don't know. So now we know the six sense object. So we go, no, to the next topic. Consciousnesses and sense objects according to door. Now we read the first paragraph. The 46 Chaitas that arise in connection with the eye door are known as Chakku Dwarika Chaita. No, they are connected with the eye door. Chakku Dwarika Chaitas. They are aware of the present visible object only. So, no, or we already said that on page 104, no, at the bottom of page 104. So, if you look at the second topic on page 104, the consciousness in each door. So, if we enumerate, no, the 46 Chaita that arise in the eye door. So we say, no, on page 105, in other, no, four sense door. No, so they also, no, so actually it is this one. No, so we say there are 46 Chaita arise in the eye door. And the same thing in the ear door, instead of, not the two Chakku Vijnana, you just change into two ear consciousness. Also 46 Chaita arise in the ear door. In the nose door, also 46 Chaita. There you get two Ghana Vijnana. In the tongue door, you have two tongue consciousness. No? And then in the body door, you have two the body consciousness instead of the two eye consciousness. So, for these 6 Chaitas, they arise in each of these 5 doors. So now on page, we can continue reading on the page 06. So we continue reading. So near the bottom, number 2, the 46 Chaitas that arise in connection with the ear door are known as Sota Dwarika Chaita. They are aware of the present sound only. Please continue reading. They are just easy, they are just the same. 46 Chaita that arise in connection with the nose door are known as Gana Dwarika Chaita. They are aware of the present smell only. Number 4, 46 Chaita that arise in connection with the tongue door are known as Jiva Dwarika Chaitas. They are aware of the present taste only. Number 5, 56 Chaita that arise in connection with the body door are known as Kaya Dwarika Chaitas. They are aware of the present tangible object only. So now you can know. So the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body, these 5 doors, they can take only present sense object. So the Chaita that arise in these 5 doors, they are aware of only the present sense object. Now how about number 6? Please continue reading. The 67 Chaitas that arise in the mind door are known as Manodwarika Chaitas. They are aware of all the 6 sense objects, which may be present, past, future, or independent of time. So, among these you understand the words. The only thing that you don't understand would be independent of time. So, we say Nibbana and concepts. Nibbana and concepts that are included in the mind object, they are independent of time. The reason is Nibbana always exists. So there is no such thing as the past Nibbana, present Nibbana, future Nibbana. So it is independent of time. Concepts do not exist. So we cannot say concepts exist in the past, in the present, and the future. So they are independent of time. Yes?
Why does concept not exist? If it doesn't exist, how can the mind be aware?
You remember when I explained about the Atkasina meditation? So you look at this with open eyes. Now you reflect it, Patavi, Patavi, Patavi. Now when you attain certain concentration, you close your eyes and you can see the address as you see with open eyes. And we call that the concept, that the acquired sign. It appears only in your mind. You have the perception of that. So we say they are created by your perception. They do not really exist. Now you can look at any place, any direction. Always it appears. It will appear. But does it exist? No, it does not exist. So that is what we call concept. Oh, I just told you, concept do not exist. You cannot say concept exists in the present, in the past, and the future. As they do not exist, you cannot say that. So that means they have nothing to do with the time. That is independent of time. Okay? Now, so this is quite remarkable, this the number 6. Not this, the mind door, the mind door consciousnesses. They can be aware of all the 6 sense objects. And some people, they say, how can we see Chaita and Cetasika? So we say, no, you can see them, but not with the naked eye. They don't appear in the eye, but they appear in the mind door. So you have to see with the mind door, no, the consciousness. Only then you can see them. We say this 67 citta can be aware of the consciousness and mental factors. No, so we say if you have the difficulty, you come and undertake meditation here. No, so then you know that you can see all this citta and citta. And not only that, you can see the past object. So again, so many meditation teachers, they say, the past objects do not exist. How can you know them? So you have been to Sentosa, you have seen that elephant there, the lion. Now you close your eyes, try to visualize it. Can you see it? Can you see it? You see it appear. So after you watch the Korean movie, Chinese movie, you go to bed, so you can rewatch the movie. So what are you moving? You are watching the past sense object. No, they are already, I said, when you watch the movie, so what you have seen, what you have heard, everything are recorded already. The data are put in your mind computer. So you are recalling it. So we say when you attain the jhana, you can see the past sense objects clearly, just as if that the Sentosa lion is in front of you. You can see very clear. So now you can recall any of your teacher. So if you recall your teacher appear in front of you very clearly. So that's why we say you have photographic memory. So in the Vipassana meditation, so the Buddha, they describe clearly in Visuddhimagga. So when we do Vipassana meditation, we have to see this past mentality, materiality, all this reality that arise in you and in others, not only internal, external. External means in others. After you see in you, you have to see in others. And then you have to see the past, the present, the future. So again, like the many teachers, they say, how can we see the past? The past do not exist anymore. The future do not arise yet, how can we see them? But they don't know that the mind is very powerful. Now we say the mind door. The future sense of the object can appear in the mind door. So if they appear in the mind door, then you can see, that means. That means you can see. So some people, they just refer to one sutta. In one sutta, the Buddha said, to live happily, you should not think of the past, and you should not think of the future. Just you try to think of the present. That's what the Buddha said. That's correct. So not to think the past means like the past, the sad things, the tragic things. If you think about them, you will not be happy. So if you think of the future, if you are worrying what will happen about the stock and share, so then you will be not happy. So if you want to be happy, don't pay attention to the past and the present. Just take notice of the present. So what is best to you to do in the present? So that is in one sutta. The Buddha said that is to live happily. So they refer to this. So according to this, the sutta, they said we have to see only to take notice of the present. Mentality, materiality, only they say. So if you take the past sense object, the future sense object, that is wrong, they say. So, and when they say that is wrong, they say the Pa-Auk method is wrong. As Pa-Auk method, in Pa-Auk method, we ask you, here they teach you, as written in the Visuddhimagga. In Visuddhimagga, it clearly states that you have to see the past, the present, the future, internal, external. You have to see them. No? So if you cannot see like that, so definitely it's stated there, you will never get enlightened. You will never get enlightened. That means that you will never become noble person. And those people, no, those who cannot see the past and the future, they don't even see the ultimate materiality. No, they don't know how to see them. So they say they are doing the vipassana directly. So they say, oh, don't waste your time trying to develop the jhana. If you want to get to jhana, go to the Pa-Auk center. They say. And they don't know that to attain the jhana is a special attainment, much praised by the Buddha. And they don't know how to get it. And they even, they boast that, oh, we don't do the jhana, they say, because it's not necessary. It's just samatha, they say. No, it is practiced even before the Buddha appear. That's correct. They, just before the Buddha appear, the people, they observe morality. They can develop the jhana. They can do anapanasati, they can do the jhana. So some people, they went to the extreme. So they say, so those are already known in the just before the Buddha appear, morality, samatha. You don't need to do that anymore. So that means if they just put them away in the eightfold noble path. So you have only the training of the vipassana. So you put away the moral, three moral factors, and three the samatha, the factors. You put them away. You are developing only two. You cannot develop that. You cannot do that. So you have to be very careful. That's why we say, to know the essential teaching of the Buddha is very good. Then you can say definitely. And just like in our case, we can say very boldly, very daily, and to make this clear, to make it known to the world. So Pa-Auk and I, we put up the 2 papers in the Buddhist Summit, in 2004 Buddhist Summit. So we published the books. So I published that book. And most of you don't get it yet. Actually, I bring it every night, but not tonight. So I say, if you want to know what is the meditation. So this threefold training is described there. What is vipassana? Described there. So there, we give you the references that all these should be meditated. So and we try to tell the world. So everything that is taught by the Buddha, for this threefold noble training. They are practiced in detail in Pa-Auk Meditation Center. So we say, we invite, come and meditate and try to see by yourself. If you want to meditate as taught by the Buddha and you want to become enlightened as noble person, so we invite you. We invite you. Okay, now, and how about the future? Can you believe that we can see the future? So like in Buddhism, the Buddha, we also have in the 5 mundane supernormal powers. So the 5th one is we call divine eye. So after you attain divine eye, you can develop 2 more supernormal powers. So you can see the karma that give rise to each person, for each person. So even with the divine eye, they say you can see those dying people, and you can see after they die where they are born, being born. You can see them. So that means you can even see the future when they are born. And now we have another supernormal power we call anagatamsa jnana. knowing the future events, future worlds, and what will happen tomorrow, what will happen next year, what will happen to 5 years, 10 years from now. Of course, if you get that supernormal power, you will be very rich. Because you know what will be the stock and share. So the price, you just buy, you sell, you become rich. And like the prices, the houses, you can buy, the price will be double in 10 years, then you can invest. And you can also know the state lottery, what is the winning number. You will be very rich.
Does that mean there's no free will?
Yes.
Does that mean there's no free will?
I know.
If we can see the future, that means we can predict the future. That means nobody has freedom to do anything.
Freedom, they say. So the freedom means that if you do not interfere with all other people's rights, their rights of action, so that's freedom. That's freedom. Though you have the future, you know the future, so you don't interrupt anyone. So you are not disturbing their freedom. No? And Pa-Auk also ask you, if you want to learn all this the supernormal power, come on, I will teach you. I will teach you as taught by the Buddha in the book. I just tell you, he said, and I think you can be successful, he said, but you have to promise. You have to promise. So like the Anagatamsa, you don't give the winning number in the lottery, winning number to other people. You should not do that. So he said. So that means you have to do only for noble things, for the noble things. So now we have this Anagatamsa jnana, and in the case of the Buddha, their ability to see the future is unlimited. Unlimited. So just wait. Let me tell this. So when the Sumedha, you know Sumedha, the Bodhisattva, our Bodhisattva. So the Gautama Buddha, when he was the Bodhisattva, Sumedha. So he was lying prostrate. On the road, which is a little muddy. So he was lying prostrate, and he offered 5 the lotus flowers to the Buddha, and then he made the wish. So may I become an enlightened Buddha. So now the Dibengara Buddha tried to see whether his wish will be realized. So he tried to see, can he become a Buddha in this world? No. Not in the world that he appeared, that Dibengara Buddha appeared, no. In the next world, no. In the next world, no. So he went on. So he said, 4 Asankheya and 100,000 war cycles from now, from that world. Then you will become a Buddha by the name of Gautama Buddha. Your parents would be King Suttotana and Queen Mahamaya Devi. And your the right hand and left hand chief disciples are Venerable Sariputta and Venerable the Mahamoggallana. He said in detail. He said in detail. So when a Buddha, they give the prophecy like that, never wrong, always correct. So that means they could see the future unlimitedly. So even some people, when they attain the jhana, so they can know the future. They can know the future, just like the one of our well-known meditation center, the teacher in Myanmar, we call Sonlon Sayadaw. No, Sonlon Sayadaw. So, no, when he meditated in the forest and he got the jhana, and when he came into the village, so when he saw his friends, he immediately knew what will happen to them in the future. So for one friend he said, you take good care of your cattle, one of your cattle is going to be lost in 3 days. So he really lost. And when he saw another friend, he said, my friend, you better take good care of your health. You will be seriously ill in 5 days. So that man became very seriously ill. And when he saw another friend, my friend, you better do meritorious deeds. You will die in 7 days. And he really died. So the next time, when this person, his lay person name is U Jordan. So when he came into the village, all his friends ran away. Because if he said something to them, this would be correct. So that means, for some people, even after they attain like the concentration, they can know the future. So if you can develop the supernormal power, you can do actually. And in Pa-Auk meditation center, in Vipassana, you have to see your future existence. So better come and meditate. You will see your future, past existence, and your future existence also. So how can we see? So it's not known to any teacher now, I think, at present. So no teacher would be able to show them. So we are very lucky to have Pa-Auk Sayadaw. So the Venerable Okansa would teach you. If you come to this the Vipassana, he will teach you. So that means what is stated here is correct. So you have the question.
So if one future is seen, can it be changed?
So we are just say, can it be changed? So like we say, the prophecy of the Buddha is always correct. So that means it is not changed. Not just like seeing your future, it may change. It may change. So when you are seeing the future in the Pa-Auk meditation center, you have to do some meritorious deed, and then you make the wish. What you want to become? Do you want to become the celestial being? Then try to see. Try to develop concentration and try to actually to see this 5 causes that you develop. Then try to see, according to these causes, what will be the future existence. So what should be appear, and you can correlate. You can correlate the causes and the effects. So you can be sure that is your future. That is, if you die now, so that would be the one. But or if you live on, so you may do other meritorious deeds. So you may be born another thing. So in that case, they may change. They may change. Okay, now. So we on page 107. So we give the next topic is individual consciousness and sense objects. So actually, this topic is not very important to you. But if you appear for the examination, you have to know them, because they can ask questions from that. So, and then it is quite interesting also here. So that show different consciousnesses have different ability to see the objects. So the Wingo, so you please show the chart, so chart number 5. So this is chart number 4. So chart number 5. So you can also look at your chart number 5. So this is this chart we are using now. Aramana Samgaha. So with connection with Aramana, 6 sense objects. So we describe here. So here is the sense object. No? Just you omit this Pali word. This is the sense object. And these are the chaitas that can be aware of the sense object. Now, if we read the first line, two chakku viññāna, eye consciousness, can see present visible object only. And then the two ear consciousness, sota viññāna, can be aware of only the present sound. Two ghana viññāna, only the present smell. Two jiva viññāna, only the present taste. And two kaya viññāna, only the present tangible object. We already know this. So this 10 chaita, they take only the present, the sense object. And then the manodhatu, the mind element, 3 of them, pancha, dvara vachana, and samvatechana. Now we have just said that they are aware of the present 5 sense objects. These 5 sense objects, they can be aware. The reason is this pancha, dvara vachana, and samvatechana, they appears in the 5 sense door. So in the next chapter we are going to learn about the cognitive series we teach. So when the visible object arises in the eye, so the chaita that arise are in this order, and in this order is the same order as we show here. We show here. So you start with like the pancha dvara vachana, and then eye consciousness, and then samvatechana, samdhirana, vattabana, javana, dadalamana. So in the same way, so when the sense object appear, become distinct. So we start with pancha dvara vajana. So pancha dvara vajana will take notice of the sense object. Then chakku vanyana will follow, eye consciousness. It sees the sense object, just a moment, that it dissolves. Before it dissolves, it transmits that sense object to the next. So samvatechana, receiving consciousness, receives it. Again transmit that object. Samdhirana, investigates whether the sense object is good or bad. And then vattabana is manodvara vachana, determines it. And then javana chaita arises 7 times. So it enjoys the taste of the sense object. And then two dadalamana will follow, also continued enjoying the taste of the sense object. Then the cognitive process finish. So at the dalamana we say here, the dalamana is the last one. So after the dalamana, javana, the dalamana, then finish, so only puvinga chaita will keep arising. So this pancha dvara vachana, so we say, when the sense object appears in any of the 5 sense door, it is always pancha dvara vachana to take notice of it. So it arises in all the 5 sense door. And samvatechana arises all in the 5 sense door. So these 3 chaita, they can be aware of these 5 present sense objects. Now we can continue. So the 11 dadalamana chaita, these 11 dadalamana chaitas, and hasitupada, the 12 of them, they can be aware of 6 karma sense objects. 6 karma sense objects, they include all the 54 karma chaita, the 54, the sense sphere consciousness, and 52 chaitasika that associate with them, and all the 28 materiality. So these are known as 6 karma sense objects. So if we add 10, 3, 12, you get 25. So these 25, they are aware of only karma sense object. Ekan means 1. Only karma sense object. So these are the karma sense object. Now we go down. The 12 akusala chaita. 4 mahakusala jnana samyutta chaita. And 4 mahakriya jnana vipyutta chaitas. 20 altogether. So they are aware of 6 lokiya sense objects. Lokiya means mundane. So these 6 sense objects include 81 lokiya chaita. There is 81 mundane consciousnesses, including the 52 chaitasika that associate with this chaita, and 28 types of materiality, and also concept, no concept, they can be aware. So just like we say, in the Atkasina meditation, we don't get the jhana yet, but when you attain a certain condition, you can see that acquired sign, the learning sign, and later the counter sign. They are the concept. So that means Mahakusala Chaita and Mahakriya Chaita, they can be aware of the concept also. So now, these 20 Chaita, they can be aware of these sense object. Then we go down. 4 Mahakusala Jnana Samyutta Chaita. So they are more powerful than Jnana Vibhuta Chaita. And then Rupa Kusala Abhinyana. So in the Chaita chart, I don't have here anymore. You look at your Chaita chart, chart number 1. Chart number 1. So in the 5 Rupa Wacharachita Kusala Chaita, so the 5th Chaita, we give you Bhain, Bhi. So that means when the 5th Rupa Vajra Jhana associate with Abhinyana is supernormal knowledge. So we call it Kusala Abhinyana Chaita. We call it the Rupa Kusala Abhinyana Chaita. So these 5 Chaita, so they are aware of all 6 sense objects except Arhatha Megha and Arhatha Phala. So these sense objects comprise of all Chaita except Arhatha Megha and Arhatha Phala. So 87 Chaita. And 52 Cetasika that associate with them. And 28 types of materiality, concepts, and also Nibbana. They can see Nibbana, these 5 sense objects. And then we go down. The 4 Maha-Kriya Jnana Samyutta Chaita. So, this Kriya Chaita, they arise only on Rahat. So they are more powerful than the Kusala Chaita, than Kusala Chaita. And then Kriya Abhinyana. So Kriya Abhinyana is, if you look at the 5 Rupa Vachara Kriya Chaita, 5 Rupa Vachara Kriya Chaita, the 5th Jhana is also given the Abhinyana. So, that Chaita is called Rupa Kriya Abhinyana Chaita. And also Manodwara Vachana Chaita. So, these 6 Chaita, they are the most powerful, we would say, because they are aware of all 6 sense objects, including all the 89 Chaita, all the 52 Cetasika, all materiality, all concepts, and Nibbana. So, if we add these 3 groups, we get 31 Chaita. So we say this Chaita, 31 Chaita, they can be aware of Kama sense object. Mahekata, Mahekata is this loku, the mundane, the Mahekata, the result that the mundane Jhana Chaita are included in the 81 Logiya Chaita, and also concept, they can be aware of. So it's actually we are referring to this one. So they can be aware of Kama sense object are included in this 81, and also Mahekata Chaita are included here, and Cetasika and 28 types of Rupa. So these, they are aware. Now in case of this 11, 5 and 6, they are also aware of Nibbana. So we say, they are aware of Nibbana Anekan. Anekan means they are aware of Nibbana as well as the other sense objects. Aneka means more than one object, the sense object. Now we go down again. So when we come to this 15, Rupa Vachara Chaita, so we exclude that 2 Abhinyana Chaita. This Abhinyana, these 2 we exclude. So this 15, they can be aware of only concept. So these are actually 26, the meditation objects, by which we can develop this Rupa Vachara Chaita. They are the 10 Kasina, the 10 Asubha, Kaya Gata Sti, Anapana Sti, mindfulness of breathing, and the 4 Brahma Vihara, sublime abodes, we say Metta, Gruna, Mudita, and Upekha. So these 26, the meditation subjects, they can develop these chaita. So when we meditate on them, we have to be aware of only the countersign, like in the kasina. So this jhana chaita, they take notice of only the countersign. That means only the concept. They take notice of the concept. Then we go to the 12 arupa Wacharachita. So among the 12 arupa Wacharachita, 3 akasa nanjayarana chaita and 3 akinchanyayarana chaita. So 3 akasa nanjayarana chaita, they take akasa as space as their object. Akinchanyayarana chaita, they take nothingness, natikanchi, as their object. And the remaining, the 3 vinyananjayarana chaita, they take this akasa nanjayarana, kusala chaita or kriya chaita as their object. And neva sanyana sanyayarana chaita, take notice, they take this akinchanyayarana kusala or kriya chaita as their object. And then we know that the 8 lokuttara law or the chaita, they take only nibbana. So we call it nibbana ekam. They take only nibbana. Now for this, the 21 or 15 and 6, the 21 chaita, they take only concept, concept. So we say, and then the 6, they are taking up the arupa Wacharachita as their object. So we say they take mahekata object. Mahekata means mahekata chaita. This 8 lokuttara chaita, they take only nibbana. So we say nibbana ekam. They can take only nibbana. Now these 19, rebirth consciousness, 19 life continuum, and 19 death consciousness. So 19 each. So this 19 each. So those that perform these 3 functions, rebirth, bhuvinga, and chuti. So the object they take, I explained you yesterday, they take karma nimitta, we call the karma object, and gati nimitta, the sign of destiny, the sign that is related to the place where they are going to be reborn. So we will explain this object later on. So we come to that. So that is for this topic. So quite interesting. So the different chaita, they are aware of different sense object. So now we go to page 108. In the middle, you will get the topic, Vatu Sangaha. So Vatu means physical base, depending on which various chaita and their associated chaita seekers arise. There are 6 such physical bases. Now we can read together. Chakku Vatu is Chakku Pasada. It is called eye base. Chakku is eye, Vatu is base, so we call it eye base. Sota Vatu is the ear base, and it is Sota Pasada, that function as the ear base. Kana Vatu is Kana Pasada, and it is the nose base. Jiva Vatu, Jiva Pasada, the tongue base. Kaya Vatu, Kaya Pasada, the body base. Hadya Vatu, physical base that exists in the blood of the heart, and we call it the heart base. Hadya Vatu is the heart base. Now the next line, the first 5 physical bases are the 5 pasada rupas, whereas the 6th is the heart base. So now you can take notice the 5 pasada rupa. Now they are functioning as the 5 physical bases. And already here we see they function as the 5 sense door. The 5 sense door, the 5 pasada rupa. They function as the 5 sense door. So we shall explain it below. There is a simile of striking image. I already explained to you once this striking image. So the match is the striking element. The rough surface of the matchbox is the receiving element. And the flame is the resultant element. Now the flame does not exist anywhere before striking the match, When the conditions for its arising are fulfilled, the flame arises. So you have the matchbox here. No? So this is the matchbox. This is so striking the matchstick. So when you start strike there, so share, the flame arises here. So we say the flame does not come from anywhere. It does not come from the matchbox or the matchstick. So when you just strike it, it arises. And then it extinguishes, it disappears. It's the same thing, the I consciousness. They do not exist anywhere. Anywhere, it does not exist anywhere. Now we say when a visible object, visible object is the striking element. And the Chakupasada, clear materiality in the eye, it is the eye door. So when that striking element, the visible object, strike that clear materiality, the eye door, so eye consciousness arises. It arises just for a moment, and arises and then it dissolves, it perishes. So we say the eye consciousness arises because of the contact between visible object and the Chakupasada, clear eye materiality. And then it extinguishes. It does not exist anywhere. Just arises for a moment. Now, as the visible object appears in Chakupasada, we call Chakupasada as the eye door. As the eye door. Now again, at that striking point, the eye consciousness arises at the striking point. So that striking point, when eye consciousness arises, it associates with the 7 essential mental factors. The eye consciousness associated with 7 essential mental factors. They depend on the Chakupasada for the arising. So this consciousness, they have to depend on a physical base for the arising. And they have also to cling to a sense object. If they cannot cling to any sense object and no physical base, they cannot arise. So we need these two, the base and the object. Only then they can arise. They can arise. So then, the eye consciousness and mental factor, they depend on the Chakupasada for the arising. So Chakupasada also functions as the eye base. So it is the eye door as well as the eye base. So the same day, the Sotapasada, clear materiality in the ear. The sound appears there. And ear consciousness and mental factor depend on that ear base. So the Sotapasada function both as the ear door as well as the ear base. And also the Ganapasada will function as the nose door and the nose base. And then Jiva Pasada, the tongue door, the tongue base. And Kaya Pasada, the body door and the body base. So these 5 Pasada Rupa, they function both as door and as bases. And the mind door, what is the mind door? So you don't know what is the mind door. So I told you, this life continuum, they serve as the mind door. Our life continuum is the mind door. And they depend on the heart base. On the heart base. The heart base exists in the blood of the heart. In the blood of the heart. So here is how karma produce. Is the result. So we say karma produce. It's resultant consciousness. So in our case it is Mahavipaka-Cheta. So it will produce this Mahavipaka-Cheta one after another throughout the whole life. So, and also this karma produce karma-born materiality. Karma-ja rupa means karma-born materiality. So at every sub-moment, so these pasada rupas, what we have just told, they are karma-ja rupa. And the heart base is also the karma born materiality, kamaja rupa. No? Okay, if we know this much is good enough. So we go to the next topic on page 109. Physical bases in 3 spheres. So in the 11 karma planes, they represent the sense sphere, not the sense sphere, where the sense pleasure is enjoyed. Now that is the sense sphere. All the 6 bases what to exist. So in us we have all the 6 bases, all the 6 bases, because we have all those 5 pasada rupa as well as a heart base, hadya, the heart base. Now number 2, in the 5 material sphere there is rupa, rupa loka or rupa planes, rupa realms. Only 3 physical bases, namely Chakku Vatu, Sota Vatu, and Hadya Vatu exist. Now the reason, during samatha meditation, that is tranquility meditation, to enter or to develop the rupa jhana, the meditator has to eliminate the enjoyment of sense pleasure by controlling his mind not to wander around sense objects. So when the jhana pasada, jhana kusala kamma, conditions him to be reborn in the rupa realm or rupa plane, he is not endowed with ghana vatu, jiva vatu and kaya vatu, as no enjoyment of sense pleasure exists in the rupa realms. Brahmas are happy with jhana sukha, not jhana bliss. Sukha is bliss or happiness. However, they need eyes to see the Buddha, ears to listen the Dhamma, and Hadya Vatu is necessary for the arising of Mano Vijnana Cheta. So remember, Mano Vijnana Cheta, they have to depend on the heart base for the arising. So, the Rupa Brahmas have only 3 Vatu, 3 bases. So, they are the eye base, the ear base, and the heart base. They don't have the nose base, the tongue base, and the body base. So the reason is, in developing rupa jhana, they have to undertake tranquility meditation, samatha meditation. So when you undertake meditation, you have to concentrate your mind, not only on that, like kasina. Kasina is like the artist. We have to concentrate on that, and later you have to concentrate on the counter sign. Just you have to concentrate on the counter sign. And you have to prevent your mind from going to the sense object. So that means you don't enjoy sense pleasure. If you cannot cut off your mind from going to the sense objects, you will never get the jhana. So only when you can cut off totally and concentrate only on the counter sign, then you can go up to the jhana. Up to the jhana. So we say when you attain the jhana, you have greater bliss. Greater bliss, that sense pleasure. So in order to enjoy greater bliss, you have to let go, the little bliss that is the sense enjoyment. Just like in fishing, when you get a small fish, make it a bait, try to fish to get a bigger fish. So you let go small fish to get to pick a bigger fish. The same thing, you let go small happiness, small bliss to get greater happiness. And the same thing, if you want to get nibbana bliss, which is the greatest one, you let go the jhana bliss. You have to let go. So just like that. Okay. Okay now. So those Rupa Brahma, as they do not enjoy sense pleasure, so they don't have the nose base. If they don't have the nose base, that means the smell cannot appear in him. He does not enjoy the odor, like the eau de cologne perfume. No. And then no tongue base. So no tongue base means no taste appear in him. So, now the question is, doesn't he eat anything? So what do you think? Do the Brahmas, no, do they eat the food? No, they don't eat any food. So, no, for you, if you want to, you are attached to the Chinese noodle, you don't want to become the Brahma. You can't have anything, you don't have eat anything. And also they don't have the body base. So if you don't have the body base, you don't know the touch, the tangible object. No? So in other words, you might say, no, don't they enjoy, no, like the sexual pleasure? So they don't enjoy. They don't enjoy. So the Brahma even don't have any sex organs. No sex organ. So they don't drink water. They don't drink, they don't eat anything. So they don't have to go to the toilet. So no, they don't need to, no, to go to the toilet, to urinate or to excremate. No, so no sex organ. They have very big bodies. It look like men, but they are neither man nor woman. So they are just enjoying with the jhana bliss. Not jhana bliss, it's very, very, no, high bliss. So they are just enjoying with them. So you can imagine, no, they can be very happy. Nothing, no, they have nothing to do, no, with the, no, just like cooking the food, going to the toilet, no, so like cleaning your body, all these things. No, they don't have to do anything. No, so. And now we go to the next topic. Number 3. In the material sphere, arupa loka, no vatus exist because no materiality exists there. Again, due to meditation power of samatha bhavana, tranquility meditation, to develop arupa jhana. So I explained to you, when we want to develop arupa jhana, no, we have to reflect on the force of having this material body. Because of this material body, we have a lot of suffering. So you have to feed it, you have to clothe it, and you have to walk the whole life, just to keep it, to sustain it. And then you have the heat and the coldness, and then the insect bites, and 96 kinds of diseases, they say. So it's with the extra modern diseases, like they say, like the modern diseases. So they don't want to have materiality. So when they do arupa, the jhana meditation, so they focus on space, akasa, nothingness, or they take only the akasa nanyayana chitta, the mahagata chitta as their object. So they give away all materiality. They developed detachment to materiality. They don't want materiality. So when they can develop arupa jhana, they developed arupa karma at that time. So when this karma produces result, they are born in arupa realm. So there is no materiality. They don't have any body. So if they have no body, no materiality, no basis. So the chaitas in them, they have only mind. So the minds are arising in them. So again, the minds in them can arise without depending on any base. Again, due to the power of meditation, we say. So in other realm where we have materiality, chaita have to depend on the base, but not in the arupa realm. Now, on page 109 at the bottom, we have another topic, consciousness element, vijnana dhatu. Now remember, vijnana means chaita, the same thing as the chaita. Now vijnana means chaita, consciousness, whereas dhatu means element. So when we say an element, it is It is that which carries its own characteristic mark, but it is not a living being. No? So the Buddha, in order to show that consciousness are not the living beings, so he tried to classify consciousness into 7 types of this vijnana dhatu, consciousness element. Vijnana dhatu, consciousness element. So on page 110 we did that. So it is quite easy. So now number 1, Chakku Vijnana Dhatu, refers to the 2-eye consciousness. So that means the 2-eye consciousnesses are called Chakku Vijnana Dhatu. So if you translate Chakku Vijnana Dhatu, how will you translate it? Eye consciousness element. You just put it eye consciousness element. And you already know that these 2 eye consciousness, they depend on the eye base for their arising. They arise in the eye base and they depend on the eye base. Now number 2, Sota Vijnana Dhatu, refers to 2-ear consciousness. It is ear consciousness element, so it refers to the 2-ear consciousness. And this ear consciousness, they depend on Sota Vatu, the ear base for their arising. Number 3, Ghana Vijnana Dhatu is nose consciousness element. So they refer to the 2 nose consciousness and they depend on the nose base, Ghana Vatu, for their arising. Number 4, Jiva Vijnana Dhatu is tongue consciousness element. They refer to tongue consciousnesses and they depend on Jiva Vatu, the tongue base, for their arising. Kaya Vijnana Dhatu is body consciousness element. They refer to the 2 body consciousness and they depend on Kaya Vatu, the body base, for their arising. So up to this 1 to 5. Now we get 10 consciousness. 10 consciousness. They are just the 5 pairs of those Pancha Vijnana. So we have already 10 consciousness as 5 elements. Now number 6 is Mano Dhatu, mind element. So we already have seen it. So it refers to Pancha Dwara Vajana and the 2 Sampatichana. So these 3 consciousness, they are known as the mind element, Mano Dhatu. So up to number 6, we finished 13 consciousnesses now. Now all the remaining 76 chaitas, they are called Mano Vijnana Dhatu, mind consciousness element. Mano, we call it mind. Vijnana is consciousness, Dhatu is element. So mind consciousness element refer to the remaining 76 chaitas. So remember, we are taking 89 chaitas in brief. So we divide them into 7 consciousness elements. So these consciousness, they are just like the element. They are not living beings. So now, after that, we give you the next topic is classification of consciousnesses according to physical base. And now we have to show the next chart. So we go the next chart. So 5.2, I think, not below that. Yes, we have the next chart. So this is the chart number 5.2. So these are the name of the 6 bases. So what are they? Chakku Vatu, the eye base. Sota Vatu, the ear base. Ghana Vatu, the nose base. Jiva Vatu, the tongue base. Kaya Vatu, the body base. And Hadya Vatu, Hadya Vatu. So Hadya, so it should be Vatu also. Hadya Vatu, so the heart base. 6 bases. Now we have here, you can see there are the 12 Akusala Chaita, 18 rootless consciousnesses, and 24 Kama Sovana Chaita. So they represent 54 Kama Chaita. And then we have 15 Rupa Wacharachita. And the 12 Arupa Wacharachitas are divided into 4 Arupa Kusala, 4 Arupa Vipaka, 4 Arupa Kriya. And then we have 8 Lokuttara Chita. So we divide them into 1 Sotapatti Mega Chita. And then the remaining 7. They are the higher Mega Chitas and the 4 Phala Chita. So these are the 89 Chitas in brief. So now we read this. Now we already know the 2 eye consciousness, Chakku Vijnana, depend on the eye base for their arising. 2 ear consciousnesses, Sota Vijnana, depend on the ear base. And the 2 Gana Vijnana depend on the Gana Vatu, the nose space. The Jiva Vijnana, 2 tongue consciousness depend on the tongue base. And the 2 Kaya Vijnana, body consciousness, depend on the body base. So this 10 consciousness always depend on these 5 bases for their arising. Now there are 33 Chaita that always depend on the Hadya Vatu, the heart base. So what are these 33 Chaita? Please read. 2 Dosa Mula Chaita. And 3 mind element, Mano Dhatu. And then 3 Santirana, investigating consciousness. Hasitupada, samai producing consciousness. And 8 Maha Vipaka Chaitas. And 15 Rupa Vajra, the Chaitas. And Sotapatti Mega Chaita. So, these 33 Chaita, they always depend on the heart base. So if we add 10 and 33, we get 43. They always depend on the physical base for their arising. Now this 42, they depend on heart base sometime, and sometimes they do not depend on the heart base. So the reason is this 42 Chaitas, they arise in the Arupa Brahma. When they arise in the Arupa Brahma, they do not depend on the heart base. They don't depend on any base. But they also arise in the sense sphere and also in the Rupa realm. So that means the 15 Rupa Vajrachita do not include here. So when they arise in the sense sphere, like Lopa Mula Cheta, the Moha Mula Cheta, they arise in us. So they depend on the heart base. So when they arise in the sense sphere, they depend on the heart base. So we call them 42 Cheta, that sometimes depend on the heart base and sometimes they do not depend on the heart base. And now these 4 are Rupa Vajra Vipaka Cheta. So they are included this 9, here. Now look at this, they are included in this 9 Megata Vipaka Cheta. So 9 Megata Vipaka Cheta mean 5 Rupa Vajra Vipaka Cheta and 4 Arupa Vajra Vipaka Cheta. So as they perform only these 3 function, rebirth and the life continuum and death function in the Arupa realm, so they don't depend on what to all the time. They arise only in Arupa realm because they serve as the rebirth consciousness, life continuum and death consciousness of Arupa Brahma. So there is what this chart means. Now if you add these 2, 42 plus 4, you get 46 Cheta that arise in Arupa Brahma. Because with these 42 Cheta, they arise in Arupa Brahma, they can also arise in Arupa Brahma, and these 4 arise only in Arupa Brahma. So if you add the 46, you get the Cheta that arise in Arupa Brahma. So any question so far? We are finishing chapter 3. And we have to finish chapter 4, no, in the remaining 3 days. No, we have to finish. So now, no, we have some more time, so we can continue. So chapter 4 is about cognitive series. In Pali we call viti. Now the first topic is process of consciousness. Please read it. Viti means a chain of consciousness or cognitive series that arises when a sense object appears at one of the sense doors in order to be aware of the object. So now I describe one example here. So when a visible object arises in the eye door, Chakku Dwara is the eye door. We have this cognitive series. So a series of consciousness arise and dissolve to be aware of that sense object. So we are not going to discuss all the cognitive series that arise in all the 6 sense doors. No? Now the next paragraph. As the road passes one village after another, without skipping any nor changing the order of the villages, so also the consciousnesses arise one after another in the order they should, according to the law of consciousness, Citta Niyama. Niyama means the law. Citta Niyama, the law of consciousness. So, the law, according to the law of consciousness, like the consciousness arises only when the sense object appears at the sense door. And then the way they arise it in this order. Like avachana, we say. And then here is dvipanja vinyana, sampadechana, sandhirana, vuttavana, javana, tadalamana. So in this order. They arise in this order. Now the next topic is the lifespan of consciousness. So we can read again. Consciousnesses arise and dissolve in a person at a tremendous rate of more than 1,000 billion per eye wing. So per eye wing and per snap of the hand, they are the same. And they say there are about 250 eye wings in a second. So that means in a fraction of a second, 1,000 billion chaita can arise and dissolve. So the lifespan of a consciousness is less than 1,000 billion of a second. Very short, the lifespan. So when it is very short, we cannot show it by second. So the next paragraph, the lifespan of a chaita is measured by 3 short instants of the distinct features of the arising and passing away of a chaita. So there are 3 features, we say, distinct features, in the consciousness. One is upada. Upada means the genetic sub-movement. That is the arising moment. Genetic means arising. Arising or forming, arising sub-movement. And then titi means existing. So the existing sub-movement. And then banga, the dissolving sub-movement. So we say consciousness, it will arise, exist, and dissolve. And another consciousness arise, exist, dissolve. Arise, exist, dissolve. So one consciousness have 3 sub-movements. So these 3 sub-movements is taken to be the lifespan of one consciousness. And it is called one consciousness movement. So we explain below. These 3 sub-movements in Pali, sub-movement is called khana. Very short time. Very short time is khana. Are said to be equal to one movement of consciousness or consciousness movement. In Pali we call it Chaitakhana. Chaitakhana is one consciousness movement. That is the lifespan of a chaita. So the lifespan of a chaita is equal to 3 sub-movements of arising, existing and dissolving of the chaita, or it is equal to one consciousness moment, or one Chaitakana. One Chaitakana is better interpreted by one consciousness movement rather than a thought movement, which is coined by some translators. So some Abhidhamma, the writers, they use this word thought movement, and I change it. So the thought means, one thought means a lot of consciousness arises in one thought. So what we mean is only one conscious movement. So it is better to change it into consciousness movement. So there we go to the next topic, the lifespan of materiality. The lifespan of Rupa or materiality is 17 times longer than that of Chaita. So we can say that the lifespan of Rupa materiality is equal to 17 Chaitakanas, or 17 consciousness moments, or 17 multiplied by 3 equal to 51 sub-movement. So materiality, the life of immateriality is 17 times the life of consciousness. So we say the life of materiality is 17 consciousness movement. Consciousness movement. Now, we say in the one snap of the hand or one wing, one eye wing, 1,000 billion Chaita can arise and dissolve, we say. Now, if you divide 1,000 billion by 17, 17, which is the lifespan of the materiality, we get 58 billion. So, notice the next paragraph, we say, thus Rupa, materiality also arises and dissolves at a tremendous rate of more than 58 billion times per second. More than that, 58 billion times per second. Now the difference between Chaita and Rupa is that Chaita arises one after another, whereas Rupa arises by several units at a sub-moment, and it goes on arising incessantly, mean continuously, at every sub-moment. Therefore, Rupa may be grouped together two large masses which are visible to the naked eye, whereas the fleeting stream of consciousness is invisible to the naked eye. So all these, the material objects, we say, so they are a combination of many material, materiality. Now what we are discussing here is, you can see from here. Now we say the lifespan of this life, for example, consciousness, is equal to 3 sub-moments. One is arising moment, another is existing moment, and then dissolving moment. So this 3 sub-moment is equal to one consciousness moment, and that is the lifespan of one consciousness. Now, karma produces materiality at every sub-moment, we say. At the arising sub-moment, existing sub-moment, and dissolving sub-moment of consciousness. Every sub-moment. So it keeps on so it producing throughout the life, throughout the lifespan. So now Chaita also produces materiality. So Chaita produces materiality only at the arising moment of the consciousness. Only at the arising moment they produce the mind-born materiality and heat-born materiality. So in every material group, we contain Tejo, which is called heat. And from that Tejo, so every sub-moment, so they produce heat-born materiality. And that ahara is nutriment. From the food we eat, it also produces the nutriment materiality. So materiality are produced by 4 causes. So that means at every sub-moment, So, several units of the materiality can arise. And after it arises, it can remain up to 17 conscious moment. So 17 conscious moment means 17 consciousness, 17 consciousness. So during that time, every sub-moment, so all this materiality arising. So that means all this materiality can group together, to become big masses. Just like all these masses, like the table, like the houses, and the earth, and like the sun, very big. So we can see materiality. In the case of consciousness, they arise only one after another. So why one consciousness arises and it exists, another consciousness cannot arise. Only when it dissolves, then another consciousness arises. Only one at a time. And so they exist only for one sub-moment. So we say, as soon as it arises, finish. Arise, dissolve. Arise, dissolve. So we say fleeting, fleeting mental stream. So it is very difficult to see the consciousness. So now we can continue. So the third paragraph of that on page 113. So we have to take note of that also. The genetic sub-movement and the dissolving sub-movement of materiality last for one sub-movement each. So the existing movement of Rupa lasts for 51 minus 2, you get 49 sub-movement. So in the first paragraph we say, the lifespan of materiality is 17 consciousness movement. If you multiply by 3, you get 51 sub-movement. And materiality, they also have 3 features, just like consciousness, arising, existing, and dissolving, the same thing. Now, for materiality, this arising, it takes only one sub-movement. And then for dissolving, it takes only one sub-movement, just like consciousness. So what would be their existing moment? So as their lifespan is 51 sub-movement, you subtract minus 2. So you get 49 sub-movement. During that time, other materiality can arise, so they can group together. Okay. Now the next topic would be quite easy. So we give you 6 types of consciousness. Consciousness may be classified as 6 classes according to 6 sense doors and 6 physical bases. So now again, the 89 chapter in brief are classified into 6 kinds according to 6 sense door. So what are the 6 sense door? Chakku dwara, soda dwara, etc. So now we call it chakku. Instead of dwara, you put in vijnana. Vijnana is consciousness. So chakku vijnana means 2 eye consciousnesses. Soda vijnana, 2 ear consciousness. Please read on. Kana vijnana, 2 nose consciousnesses. Jiva vijnana, 2 tongue consciousnesses. Kaya vijnana, 2 body consciousnesses. So up to that you get 10 consciousness already. So when we say mano vijnana, it refers to the remaining chapter. So there is 79 mind consciousnesses. So these 79 chapter, they depend on the heart base for their rise. Only the above 10, they depend on the eye base, ear base, nose base, tongue base, and body base. As body base exists in the root of the body. If you are asked, where does consciousness exist? How would you say? Where does consciousness exist? So don't forget our previous answer. Now we say eye consciousness does not exist anywhere. The same thing, the consciousness do not exist anywhere. They just arise and finish. They just arise, finish. But they arise all over the body, in the eye, in the nose, in the tongue, in the body, in every place of the body where you touch. The body consciousness will arise there. but the majority, 79 of them, no, arise in the mind door. No, in the mind door, in the mind, no, the Mano Vijnana. So they depend on the heart base that is in the heart. They arise in the heart. So for those people, no, who say, no, the brain is no, they say the brain is the mind, as they cannot know where the mind is. No, they say the brain is the mind. So I tell them, now, no, when a man first holds the hand of a lady, what happened? You get the thrill. So where the thrill arises? Does the thrill arises in the brain or in the heart? It arises in the heart. Not in the heart, because when you hold that, you have Lopa Mula Chaita. Lopa Mula Chaita arises in the heart base. So you have the thrill in the heart. And also when you are traveling on the high road, then you heard the very loud the light the gunshot, bang. So you get frightened. So where do you get the fright again? Not in the brain, again in the heart, because when you are frightened, dosa mula chaita arises. So dosa mula chaita arises in the heart. So we say that the mind is not the brain; it arises in the heart. So in the heart base, so it is another thing, not the brain. So now we get 6 types of consciousness, and the next one is 6 types of cognitive series. Now the cognitive series of consciousness is also divided into 6 classes, which may be named according to their 6 sense door, according to either the 6 sense doors or the 6 types of vijnana above. No, the vijnana, we already get them. So now we describe on page 114. Not just to be familiar with this, with this term. So we have to be familiar with them. So one is we call Chakku Dwara Viti. So this one we call Chakku Dwara Viti, eye door cognitive series. So because it arises in the eye door. So in the Chakku Dwara we just put in the Viti. Viti means cognitive series. And we can also call it Chakku Vijnana Viti. Because in this, the eye door cognitive series, eye consciousness arises. So in connection with the eye consciousness is called Chakku Vijnana. So you just look on page 114. So now we call this Chakku Dwara Viti or Chakku Vijnana Viti. So according to the 6 vijnana, so we can give 2 names. So usually we use only the first name. The Chakku Dwara Viti is the popular name. So this is the cognitive series of consciousness connected with the eye door or with the eye consciousness. Now if you know this one, you know the rest. So you just read on. Number 2 is Sota Dwara Viti or Sota Vijnana Viti. It is the cognitive series of consciousness connected with the ear door or with the ear consciousness. Ghana Dwara Viti is also called Ghana Vijnana Viti. It is the cognitive series of consciousness connected with the nose door or with the nose consciousness. Jiva Dwara Viti, also called Jiva Vijnana Viti. It is the cognitive series of consciousness connected with the tongue door or with the tongue consciousness. Kaya Dwara Viti, also called Kaya Vijnana Viti. It is the cognitive series of consciousness connected with the body door or with the body consciousness. And Mano Dwara Viti, also called Mano Vijnana Viti. It is the cognitive series of consciousness connected with the mind door or the mind consciousness. No? So just to be familiar of the way they call it. So we just use the first name, like the eye door cognitive series, nose door cognitive series, tongue door cognitive series. No, we shall call like that. Now there are the causes for the arising of cognitive series. Now we say 4 conditions must exist for the arising of Chakku Dwara Viti, eye door cognitive series. So these are Chakku Pasada, that is the eye door, must be good. So when you are not Chakku somebody, when they are born, the Chakku Pasada is missing. Chakku Pasada do not arise in them. So that means they are blind. They are born blind, then they cannot see. No? So the Chakku Pasada must be good. And then Rupa Ramana means visible object must be present. Remember, the sense object must come in contact with the sense door for the consciousness to arise. And also here, number 3, aloka, light must be present. So if it is totally dark, we cannot see. And then number 4, manasikara, attention, must be present. So remember, if the visible object arises in the eye door, so we say pancha dwara vajana. So here, we have to begin with a vajana. So pancha dwara vajana must take notice of the sense object. Must take notice of the sense object. Otherwise, we don't see that sense object. And though we say pancha dwara vajana, apprehend the sense object, take notice of the sense object, it is actually the manasikara, the manasikara, that is present in pancha dwara vajana. Take notice of the sense object. So we say this manasikara, attention, taking attention, paying attention to the sense object must be present. So there are 4 conditions, and these conditions we have to find out in vipassana meditation. So in vipassana meditation, we have to know all the causes. Now for the case of materiality, we have to find all these 4 causes. So we have to see these 4 causes are producing the materiality in our body. We have to see them. The same thing for the eye door, like the eye conscious and eye door cognitive series to arise. We need these 4 causes. We have to see them. Now if you know this one again, the rest would be the same. Number 2, let's read. 4 conditions must exist for the arising of Sota Dwara Viti, ear door cognitive series. So Sota Pasada, the ear door must be good. So it is absent or damaged. You are deaf, you cannot hear. Saddha Ramana, the sound must be present. And Akasa, space for the passing of the sound must be present. So what I mean is, if you are in a soundproof room, so that means according to science, the sound is transmitted by air molecules. When I speak, my vocal cord vibrates. So that produces the sound, we say, and that vibration, it vibrates the air molecule. So the air molecule carries this vibration. So when it strikes the ear, you get the same vibration, and you know, this is this sound. So for this molecule to get into the ear, so the air must be able to travel to the ear. So if you are in the soundproof room, you cannot hear. So we just say here, space for the passing of the sound must be present. And number 4 again, manasikara, attention must be present. Now number 3, please read. 4 conditions must exist for the arising of Ghana Dwara Viti, nose door cognitive series. What are they? Ghana Pasada, the nose door must be good. Gandha Ramana, the smell must be present. Vayo, the air element that carries smell, must be present. So, not like the smell we say, they are just the vapor. The vapor, like you have the flowers or the perfume. So the vapor is coming up. So the air carries the perfume or that vapor to come in contact with the nose. Only then we know the smell. So we say that is the vayo, air element that carries the smell, must be present. And again, manasikara must be present. Number 4. 4 conditions must exist for arising of jiva dwara viti. Jiva pasada, tongue door must be good. Rasa ramana, the taste must be present. Abo, liquid elements such as saliva must be present. And manasikara, attention must be present. And this is quite good, that number 3. We say apo. So apo is liquid. So it means the saliva. Saliva in the mouth. So we say, if you take like the fried chicken, if you just place the fried chicken on the tongue, you don't know the taste yet. So if you put the fried chicken in front of you, you don't know the taste. Even if you put it on your tongue, you don't get the taste yet. Now you bite it and you chew it. So when you chew it, become very tiny particles. It dissolves in the saliva. And then it seeps into the tongue. So then it comes in contact with the jiva pasada, the tongue door. Only then you get the taste. You get the taste. So when only it comes in contact with the jiva pasada. So that means the more you can chew, so the better taste you will get. So that is the art of eating. So you try to chew it very, very smooth. Then it will be easily digested, and you also have better the flavor, better taste. Now we go to number 5. 4 conditions also must be present. 1. Kaya pasada, body door must be good. 2. Puttaba ramana, the touch must be present. And then Tadda Patwi, firm solid element must be present. And then for transmittance of the touch. And then manasikara, attention must be present. So the touch is just a little pressure on the body. So when you try to touch here, so the skin has the make up of material group. So in all material group, the Patwi is present. Patwi, Abo, Tejo, Vayo, these 4 elements, they are always present in all material group. And Patwi has characteristic of hardness and softness. And that hardness, it relays, that push. So if you put things together, like for here, for example, you put here and this here, put here. So if you touch here, so all will move. So because the touch here is relay. So all like you have the marbles put together. Then you just touch here, all the marbles would move. So the same thing here, when you touch here, so all those the solid material, we call the Patwi. So Patwi are in a row, so they are pushed together. So it press on the Kaya pasada. Kaya pasada is the body door. Only if press on that, you get the pressure. You know the touch. The pressure. Now number 6 is 4 conditions must be present for arising of manodwara viti. Manodwara, mind door must be present. Dhamma ramana, the mind object must be present. Hadyavatu, the heart base. For the mind consciousness to depend on, must be present. And manasikara, attention, must be present. So we say, of these 4 conditions, like in the eye door, for the arising of eye door cognitive series, we say the eye door must be good, visible object must be present, and light must be present. So these are in science they know only these three causes. No, science they also say these three must be present. Science do not know manasikara. No, that manasikara is important. They don't know. Now in the second in the note, the first paragraph, I explain about that. Now in the second paragraph, now I try to explain why manasikara is they are required. And I already explained to you. Now when the sense object they arise in one of the six sense door, it is always either panja dwara vajana or mano dwara vajana to take notice of it. That is attention, to pay manasikara, to pay attention to it. It is required. Now science do not know it. Science do not know it. Now we give you for illustration, a mother with a young baby has to get up several times every night to nurse her baby. After losing sleep for several nights, she may sometimes fall soundly asleep, that even a loud thunder that shakes the house may not awake her. Yet if her baby cries very softly, she will be immediately awake. This illustrates how important manasikara is. So I do not know your custom here. So in Myanmar, usually the mother, they let the baby sleep by their side. So they sleep near the baby, in other words. So the mother, they have to be very cautious. So as soon as they will wake up several times in one night, because they worry about the baby. As soon as they wake up, so they feed the baby. So the cloth that is wrapped around the baby, the baby will urinate very often. So if the cloth is wet the whole night, the baby will catch cold. So because of that, the mother he would try to touch it. Oh, if the cloth is wet, she had to get up. So change the cloth, the cloth, and then breastfeed the baby, and then let the baby sleep again. So she will also sleep, and then very soon she will wake up again, touch the baby, and then change the diaper, you call it, change the diaper, and then the sleep again. So as she have to get up, say 5-6 times in night. So when it comes to several nights, she lost sleep for several nights. So because of sometimes when she fell asleep very soundly, crow. So sometimes like the thunder, the thunder, sounds very loudly. Even the house shakes, when the very loud thunder sound. But the mother, she was sound asleep. She didn't wake up. Still crow. But if the baby wakes up and just the baby cries very softly, the mother immediately wakes up. He wakes up. So why she wakes up? Because she is always paying attention to that noise, the cry of the baby. So as soon as the very small noise, she wakes up. So that's why we say manasikara is very important, very important. Now the next topic is again the 6 types of presentation of sense objects at the sense doors. In Pali we call Visaya Pavati. So Visaya Pavati, Visaya Pavati, Pavati means presentation of sense objects at the sense doors. There are 6 types of Visaya Pavati, 4 at the 5 sense door and 2 at the mind door. Now we say one is presentation of sense objects at the 5 sense door. No, though we say presentation, it actually means the appearance of sense door in these objects. So number one is Ati Mahanta Ramana. So Mahanta means great. So in Pali, Ati means very. So very great. Aramana is sense object. So no, we translate it as sense objects with very great intensity. No, Ati Mahanta Ramana. So as these sense objects can appear in the 5 doors. So we just state 5 sense objects with very great intensity, causing a very long cognitive series of consciousness to arise. So this is the first kind of sense object that can appear in the eye door, or in the ear door, the nose door, the tongue door, and the body door. So they are object of very great intensity. So if this great object of great intensity appears in the eye door, we have this eye door cognitive series. So in this series, they will contain the greatest number of consciousnesses. So we get up to the Dalamana. So they are the longest, the cognitive series. It will produce the longest cognitive series. Now when you come to number 2, Mahanta Ramana, so Ati is omitted. So it means 5 sense objects with fairly great intensity, not very great, just fairly great intensity. So this object will cause a fairly long cognitive series of consciousness to arise. Only not a very long as in number 1, just a fairly long cognitive series of consciousness to arise. Number 3 is Preta Ramana. Preta means slight. So we say 5 objects with slight intensity. So causing a short cognitive series of consciousness to arise. Number 4, Ati Preta Ramana. So Ati means very. So it means 5 sense objects with very slight intensity, causing no cognitive series to arise. So these are the 4 ways how sense objects appear in the 5 doors. Now we give you the note there, so you have to know the note. So for number 1, we say it is Ati Mahanta Ramana. So the way we determine the Ati Mahanta Ramana is here. Ati Mahanta Ramana takes one consciousness moment to become distinct at the sense door after striking the door. Now, here, we described about the Ati Mahanta Ramana. So, Ati Mahanta Ramana, sense object of great intensity, appearing at the eye door. So we say, the sense object arises here. When this Atita Bhuvinga arises, so these 3 circle, they describe this 3 sub-moment: arising moment, existing moment, and then the dissolving sub-moment. So at the arising sub-moment of the Atita Bhuvinga means past Bhuvinga. So the sense object strikes the eye door. Now, it takes one consciousness moment. One conscious moment equal to 3 sub-moments to develop this sense object to become distinct. So only after one conscious moment, the sense object appear in the eye door. So appear in the eye door. So this sense object is called Ati Mahanta Ramana. Ati Mahanta Ramana. So remember the sense object, the visible object is Vana, materiality. And the sense door is Chakupasada, is materiality. So when materiality and materiality they strike together, so the chemical reaction will arise to develop the picture, the picture of the sense object in the eye. Not just like you take photograph. No, when the light, no, the reflected light from my body, so it strikes the film in the camera. So then chemical reaction takes place. So only then, not the picture, my picture will appear, no, on the film. So for this chemical reaction, no, you need some time to develop the picture. So if the sense object is a very great intensity, it takes only one conscious moment. No, one conscious moment is equal to 3 sub-movements. No, only one sub-movement to become distinct. Now we read the next line. We are on page 116. We are reading the note. So again, the second note is Mahanta Ramana takes 2 to 3 consciousness movement, and in the case of Preta Ramana, it takes 4 to 9 consciousness movement, and Ati Preta Ramana, very slight, no, the sense object, very slight intensity, takes 10 to 15 conscious movements to become distinct at the sense door of the striking the door. So that means when we come to Mahanta Ramana, no, that is weaker, the sense object becomes weaker, it's less intensity. Ati Mahanta is great intensity, very great intensity. Mahanta Ramana means fairly great intensity, that means it's weaker. So when it strikes here, after one conscious movement, no, the sense object is not distinct yet. So as it's weaker, it has to, the chemical reaction has to take longer time to develop the picture. So it would take 2 conscious movements or 3 conscious movements. If the sense object is weaker, it would take 3 conscious movements. Only after that, no, the sense object appear. So, no, the way we determine the intensity of the object is by this, no, by this. So if the sense object can appear after 1 conscious moment, we call it Ati Mahanta Ramana. And it cannot appear in 1 conscious moment, it appears only after 2 or 3 conscious moments, we call it Mahanta Ramana. And it cannot appear up to the 3 conscious moments, only after 4 to 9 conscious moments, only then it appears. We call it Preta Ramana. No, Preta Ramana. And still it does not appear yet. Only after 10 to 15, no, conscious moment, only then it become appear. We call it Ati Preta Ramana. So that's the way we differentiate them. Now, and then the below that, we get number B. No, the presentation of sense object and the mind door is only 2 ways. One is Vibhuta Ramana, means clear presentation of sense object. That means the sense object appear very clearly in the mind door. Number 2, Vibhuta Ramana, obscure. Obscure means not clear. Presentation of sense object. If the sense object does not appear clearly, it is called obscure. The Vibhuta Ramana. So, when we describe the cognitive series, so we are describing now for the idol, one for Ati Mahanta Ramana, and then we have to describe for Mahanta Ramana, and then we have to describe for Preta Ramana, and then for Ati Preta Ramana, we have to describe 4 cognitive series. Now we just take one more the topic. We teach consciousness and we teach free consciousness. So, it is quite easy. Those chaita which participate in cognitive series of consciousness are called Viti chaita. So, Viti chaita means cognitive consciousness. They take part in the cognitive process. Now, those chaita which do not participate in the cognitive series of consciousness are called Vimukti chaita. So, Vimukti, you already have seen this word, Vimukti. So, di ziali piam pialu yam 4.3, di kong 5.2, 4.3. Ao cả con, hậu bì. So remember that in this chart, no, so we say Dwara Vimukti. No, this Vimukti you already seen here. We say the door free. So what are the door free? These 19 consciousness. No, these 19 consciousness are the same as 19 consciousness. No, those are the rebirth, life continuum or death consciousness. No, they are door free. So here also we are going to say they are VT free. No? So now we read it, the next paragraph. So now the 19 chaitas, namely 2 Upekha Sandirana Chaita, 8 Mahavipaka Chaita and 9 Megata Vipaka Chaita. Remember, you have to remember this 19, no? 2 Upekha Sandirana, 8 Mahavipaka, 9 Megata Vipaka. Now these are the 19, the chaitas, no? Are not involved in the cognitive series. Why they perform rebirth function, life continuum function, or death function. So they are known as Vimukti Chaita. That is cognitive free consciousness. So on the next line, that is the number of VT free consciousness is 19. That these 19 chaitas are the Dwara Vimukti, door free, has been mentioned in chapter 3. So here we mention these 19 chaitas are door free, we say here. Now when we say they are also the VT free, they are VT free consciousness. So they are, when they are performing these three functions, they do not take part in the cognitive process, so they are cognitive free consciousness. Now we get the first answer. Now if you are asked, what are the VT free consciousness? So what is your answer? They are 19 rebirth consciousness, 19 life continuum consciousness, and 19 death consciousnesses. So these consciousnesses, or you can just say these, as we say now, 2 Upekha Sandirana Chaita, 8 Mahavipaka Chaita, 9 Megata Vipaka Chaita. When they are performing these three functions, rebirth function, life continuum function, death function, they don't take part in any cognitive process. So they are called cognitive free consciousness. Now the next, for the next paragraph. Of the above 19 chaitas, 2 Upekha Sandirana chaitas are involved in the cognitive series when they perform the investigating function and registering function. So remember, this VT, when you are reading the book, this chart should be beside you. You should see when we say that. So the 2 Upekha Sandirana chaita, instead, in addition to these three functions, they also perform Santirana, investigating function, and Tadalamana. Tadalamana is the registering function. So when they perform, do this function, they are involved in cognitive process. They take part in cognitive process. So that means they also appear in the cognitive process. Now the next one, and 8 Mahavipaka chaitas take part in cognitive series when they perform the registering function. So these 10 chaitas must be included in counting VT chaitas. So again here, 8 Mahavipaka chaita. We say they are cognitive free when they are performing this three. But they also perform the Dhalamana function. So when they perform the Dhalamana function, they can arise in all the 6 sense doors. Just like here, 5 doors and mind door, 6 doors. So the Dhalamana arise in all these 6 doors. So that means this 2 Upekha Sandirana and 8 Mahavipaka chaita, they must be counted among the cognitive consciousness, because they also take part in cognitive process. Only this 9 will never appear in the cognitive process, because they don't do any other function. They do only these 3. That means when they do these 3, they are cognitive free. So only this 9 will not be involved in cognitive process. So now we make the conclusion. Since only the 9 Megata Vipaka Cheta are totally free from cognitive series, the total number of Vichita cognitive consciousnesses is 89 minus 9, 80 in the sense sphere. No, that is only for the sense sphere. So we stop here for tonight. So if you have question now, you can ask. No, not very difficult tonight actually. No. So, but you need to read. No? Otherwise, you cannot remember. So the next day we are going to go to the cognitive series. No? So we are going to study cognitive series. So, no questions, so very glad. So we can say prayers. Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiya Buddham Bujemi. Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiya Dhammam Bujemi. Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiya Samkham Bujemi. With our holy practice, which is in accord with the 9 supramundane Dhamma, we pay obeisance to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Idam me punyam aswekhaya vaham hotu. May these merits of mine lead me to the extinction of all defilements. Idam me punyam nibbanasa paccaya hotu. May these merits of mine be conducive to my attainment of Nibbana. Imam na punya bhagam sabba saddhanam dema. Imam na punya bhagam sabba saddhanam dema. Imam na punya bhagam sabba saddhanam dema. We share our merits with all sentient beings. May all sentient beings obtain the share of our merits and be well and happy always. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.